Kenya stands at a defining moment in its political history. A moment shaped not just by elections and speeches, but by the daily realities of millions of citizens struggling with the cost of living, unemployment, and trust in leadership. This is a country rich in potential, yet weighed down by inequality, debt, and unanswered questions about governance. As political temperatures rise, Kenyans are increasingly asking one pertinent question. Are we being led by vision or rhetoric? On paper, Kenya remains one of Africa's strongest economies, with a gross domestic product estimated at over 130 billion US dollars. The country ranks among the continent's top economies. But behind these figures lies a different story. Kenya's population has surpassed 55 million, and nearly 4 out of every 10 Kenyans are living below the poverty line. For millions, economic growth has not translated into food on the table, affordable healthcare, or stable income. The country's GDP per capita remains low and income inequality continues to widen, creating a sharp contrast between economic headlines and lived realities. Perhaps Kenya's greatest asset and biggest challenge is in its own people. Over 70% of the population is under the age of 35. This youthful population represents enormous potential for innovation and growth, but also places intense pressure on job creation, education systems, and working public policies. For many young Kenyans, promises of opportunities have clashed with unemployment, underemployment, and rising frustrations, hence fueling activism and public dissent. President William Samoei Ruto came to power on the promise of a bottom-up economic model, positioning himself as a champion of hustler and ordinary citizens. In recent speeches, including one delivered at a church function in Kiambu County, Ruto spoke boldly about Kenya's future, even suggesting the country could begin to transform into a Singapore-like nation almost immediately. Supporters see confidence and ambition in Ruto, but critics see oversimplification. Analysts argue that Singapore was built over decades on strict governance, institutional discipline, and zero tolerance for corruption, conditions Kenya continues to struggle with. The debate now is whether aspiration is being matched with execution. Concerns over delivery has been amplified by findings from the Auditor General. A recent report revealed that billions of Kenyan shillings collected through the government e-Citizens portal cannot be fully accounted for. And even there are those that have been withdrawn from the consolidated funds without knowing who is withdrawing them where to, hence posing irregularities and illegalities. This report raises red flags over revenue tracking, system controls, and transparency, especially troubling at a time when Kenyans are paying high taxes and facing increased levies. For many citizens, these revelations reinforce a long-standing concern that corruption and weak oversight continue to undermine the economic progress and public trust. As pressure mounts, opposition voices have grown louder. Former Deputy President and now the leader of the Democracy for the Citizens Party, Gachagua, now aligned with the United Opposition Front, has emerged as one of the most vocal critics of the current administration. His political journey, marked by a dramatic impeachment and fallout, has exposed deep divisions within the government and reshaped Kenya's political dynamics. Gachagua has since positioned himself as an alternative voice for accountability, regional respect, and political realignment.
Sasa wametukwana hapa juzi, huyu Kasongo akifikiria watu ya bere ni bure, akatangaza hapa ati mulete mbuzi hapa, mulete nguruwe, mulete kuku, hata watakuja kununua. Ni waongo si waongo? Unajua watu ya mbere unawakosea heshima wewe Kasongo mkiwa na Karinda. Ati unadanganya wabere walete mbuzi hapa, walete nguruwe, walete kuku, utakuja kununua. Wazee wamekaa hapa na wamama mpaka usiku, zimenyeshewa, zingine zimekufa. Kasongo aende asiende? Ni muongo si muongo? Wewe Karinda umekosea watu ya ishara heshima, kudanganya wazee, kudanganya wamama, ati walete mbuzi hapa, ati walete nguruwe, utaleta watu ya kununua.
Alongside him, leaders such as Kalonzo, Musyoka, and others have repeatedly accused the government of broken promises, economic mismanagement, and selective leadership. At the heart of Kenya's political debate lies a simple truth. For ordinary citizens, progress is measured not in speeches but in survival. Rising food prices, fuel costs, housing pressure, and shrinking disposable income have deepened public frustration. While leaders trade statistics and visions, many Kenyans are asking whether governance is responding to their immediate needs. Kenya's future will not be shaped by comparisons to global success stories alone. It will be shaped by institutions that work, leaders who deliver, and citizens who remain vigilant. The responsibility now lies not just with the leaders in power, but with the electorate to demand integrity, transparency, and accountability from all leaders, regardless of political realignment. As the country moves forward, the lesson is clear. Promises must be matched by performance, and leadership must be earned through trust. What's your take on this? Kindly give me your thought in the comment section below. If you are watching from our YouTube channel and you like content of this nature, kindly subscribe and press the notification button so anytime that we are live or we upload content of this nature, you'll be the very first person to be notified. Ahmed Khalif is my name for the unscripted talks here in Dab Radio. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuhu.
Kwa timba kali za Afrika, Dab Radio ndio mpango mzima.